in Brazil. The environment is different. But I like women that are open to talk, and when you talk to them, there's no dead silences. That's why I like Kenya. That's why I like Brazil. That's why I like Colombia. That's why I like Vietnam. There's certain countries where that's just right. Andrew says Austin does a DNA test and finds out he's 35% Ghanaian, which that's kind of low. I don't think that's true, right? I don't think that'll happen. I mean, I don't know the full history of the French, but I know my mother's side of the family is Creole, so they have a French background. So the chances of me, no. But
Hi guys. So a few days ago, Aston Holman was on BMT Live and they were talking about Chile and that someone mentioned, racism in Chile. They were talking about how, Latin America in general is racist and of course specifically Chile. And he said he doesn't really care about racism in Chile because it is mostly directed towards Black Caribbeans.
Chile is totally racist. Okay, I'm not from the Caribbean. The way how they will treat a black American versus a black Caribbean is completely different. You know, it doesn't really matter when we're talking about my life. The way how they treat a Caribbean, let's be honest, does not matter. You know, because what? Okay, that's like me reading a history book about slavery. Like, good to know. It's not. It's not going to happen to me because there's. Why would it?
Basically saying that he only cares about racism if it affects him directly. He is saying that racism is okay as long as it's not directed towards Black Americans. He is saying that he is okay with anti-Blackness as long as it's not directed towards people from his ethnicity. And I was not surprised because I have been following this guy for more than 6 months. And I think I now understand his psyche, I understand his ideology. And this guy is a right winger. These right wingers only care about social issues when that social issue affects them directly, right? So I'm not surprised in that sense that he said he doesn't care. He's okay with racism as long as it's not directed towards his ethnicity. And because like I said, this guy is a right winger. I mean, so but more than being the right winger part, I actually do think that Austin holds the same racist views that white supremacists do. Mind you, this guy supports Elon Musk. Elon Musk is retweeting articles that say that black people have low IQ, black people are inherently violent, and all kinds of racist things. And uh, uh, Austin admires Elon, but I don't just think he admires Elon. I actually believe that Austin believes in those same racist ideas. I actually do believe that Austin believes that black people were only good at manual labor, that we are not a thinking people, that we are only here to serve to serve others, for our body to be used to serve others, for us to be manual laborers for others, for non-black people, especially white people. Remember, he was trying to impress a white lady by telling her that his dark skin is, he said something like, he the dark skin is so well suited for for working outside in the sun. That's why they made us a slave, something implying, almost implying that we our physique is good for being slave. And
Do you actually like get tan as well?
Oh yeah, black folks get tans too.
Yeah, or like burned.
No, we don't get burned.
How?
That's why they had us as slaves, because we was the only ones fit for the job. Y'all couldn't do it.
I should not.
It's
No,
okay.
it's bad.
I mean, it's when people.
Bad.
Don't worry, we'll edit it out. Edit that out. I mean, that's everybody knows that. If they otherwise they would have got
To be
peasants
honest,
from
I
Europe
did not
and
think
brought them
of
to
that.
America.
That was no.
That is what I mean.
Really?
that is a racist ideology you usually hear being propagated by white supremacists, but here he is propagating that same idea. So I do know that I know that this guy is he buys into the racist ideas. He does believe the racist ideas that white supremacists propagate. And also there is another thing. I don't think that Austin believes he is like a black. I think because when you talk, hear him talking about himself, he's always mentioning how he has a lot of French blood, a lot of Creole blood. I mean, and we know where he got that that elevating one side of his heritage over the other. It's probably from his mom, because his mom was on his show. I mean, I'm Creole. Like every 2 seconds, she was just mentioning that. So I truly believe that Austin thinks he is like a higher level of black. Like he is better than every other black person. That if there is a hierarchy, he would be like he probably I do know that he knows he's black, but he thinks he is not as black as other people, like that. He is better. He is in a higher rank than other black people. So he believes that he will not face as much racism as other black people do. So for him, supporting racism is not, it doesn't go against his self-interest, because like I said, right wingers are only interested in self-interest. They are not there for the community. They are there for themselves. And he probably believes that, what, I'm not going to face the same racism others face because I don't look black. He's always talking about how, he doesn't look African. Austin believes that he is not a regular black. He's a better black, and he believes that racism will not affect him as much as it would do other blacks. And I want to talk about that. One, Austin he's not racially ambiguous. You look at Austin, you don't say, oh, that could be an Indian, a dark-skinned Indian man, or maybe a tanned white man. No, you look at him, you're like, that's a black man. He is not ambiguous. He is unmistakable. I don't know how to say that word, but when you look at him, he is black. So I don't know where he got that delusion that he doesn't look as black as other black people. He looks black. So that delusion part. And the other part is this idea that Black Americans should not care about racism in Latin America because it mostly affects the, Black Caribeans, or blacks from Latin America, is also self-defeating, because how universal racism is. If you look at the racism Black Caribbeans face in Latin America, it's exactly the same as the racism Black Americans face in America. So when you support racism in Latin America, what you are doing is you are supporting racism in America, because the way Black Caribbeans are described, stereotyped in Latin America is the same as the way Black Americans are stereotyped and treated in America. It is the same as Black Europeans are treated and stereotyped in in Europe. It is the same as Ethiopians. Ethiopian Jews are stereotyped and treated in Israel. Um, so it is, when you support racism in one part of anti-Black racism in one part of the world, thinking that it doesn't affect you, what you are doing is you are, because racism is global, white supremacy is global. When you are supporting it in one part of the world, you are also supporting it in another part of the world. What you are doing when you support racism in one part of the world, because it doesn't affect you as much as it does other Black ethnicities, is you are supporting racism in other part of the world that affects you. So yeah, but I am not surprised that Auston is supporting racism in Latin America. Like I said, I have been saying this over and over. This passport bro is an anti-Black movement. It is running away from Blackness. They are trying to, to find a way to distance themselves from Blackness. Anyway, the thing that surprised, that made me laugh in that what they call it, live was this this okay, this what is called, this Caribbean guy was angry. He's like, he sent a comment, then how does your travel experience matter to us, meaning Caribbean guys, or how is it informational since it don't apply to us? and and Auston is like, well, he kind of said that, he doesn't really care because most of his audience is Black Americans anyways.
One comment, Brand G says, then how does your travel experience matter to us? Or how is it informational? Okay, is this a serious question? Here's my thing. I don't think most of my audience is in the Caribbean. Like, I think exactly what YouTube tells me, that they're in the United States. So if Chile is racist to Caribbean Blacks, I'm telling you, the experience won't be the same.
And I was laughing when that guy, I think his name was Branji, when he said that, and Auston basically told him that he didn't care, because Branji is a big Auston supporter. He comes on my comment all the time to defend Auston. He was actually on Strictly Lives on the live chat, attacking me. So this guy is a true supporter of Auston, and here is Auston telling Branji that he doesn't really care about Caribbean guys like Branji. And this is one more reason that you should never support a bigot, because if a person is a bigot in one area of life, they are going to be a bigot in other areas of life. And if they are a bigot against one group of people, they are going to be a bigot against another group of people. Auston is a misogynist. He is anti-woman, anti-Black woman specifically. And if you are okay with that, expect him to also be bigoted against another demographic. And in this case, you see that he doesn't really care that much about Black Caribbean guys like Branji, who are kissing his ass, who are coming to, to comment sections of content creators that like me, and defending Auston, only for him to go up on a live and say that he doesn't really care about racism, as long as it doesn't affect him, only for him to say that he doesn't care if Black Caribbeans are victims of racism. So but this is something I mean, Brian G saw Auston be, mean to African guys, go around the world demeaning them, talking about how they eat, calling them beggars. And Brian G probably was like, well, that's not me. I know he is not going to be a bigot against people like me. But guess what? If you support him when he was saying all kinds of nasty things about African men, you should be okay with him saying, same thing about you, saying that, he is okay with racism against you. Because, like I said, if a person is bigoted, if it against one group of people, they're gonna be bigoted against another group of people, and you might be a member of that group. Anyways, let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye bye.